Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and the Giants. I am Menzo, this is my forever co-host John. Today we talk about the Karate Kid 2010 edition with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan. Boy, what a blast from the past.
Has no karate in it.
Absolutely none. But boy, what a blast from the past this is. Like watching this movie, I was like, damn, feel like I'm back in time.
Not gonna lie, I love this movie.
Me too, actually. Watching it again, I was like, damn, I forgot how hard this thing slaps.
Right, dude? Like, it's not bad. I don't know what happened, but I think it's just because of the whole, yeah, it's kung fu, not karate. Executives might have been a tad bit racist, you know, and not differentiating Chinese martial arts from Japanese martial arts. I am not sure. I don't know if this was like was this on purpose?
Actually,
but
according to an article I found on Screen Rant, this movie was almost called the Kung Fu Kid, or sorry, the Kung Fu Dream in Japan. It's known as that in China, but like Japan and China, they acknowledge the fact that it's Kung Fu. The rest of the world we get Karate Kid for some reason.
You know what? I kind of like it more that it is called Kung Fu Kid. I don't like Kung Fu Dream. Kung Fu Kid is fine. But I do love it that we eventually, the worlds collide.
Yeah.
It's confirmed that these happen in the same universe.
And they know each other. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. So Mr. Miyagi knew
Mr. Han. Yeah. But yeah, did you get to watch this as a kid, like in the theaters, or did you watch it later on?
Yeah, I did. Like, dude, our entire school was going crazy for this.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, some kids were not gonna give out names. Some of our old classmates would, like, recreate some scenes from this movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember one jackass tried to do the ultimate move, but it failed spectacularly.
Oh, like him, like
yeah. You're like, what are you doing, dude? Can't do that shit. You're not as committed as Jaden Smith, learning 3 styles of kung fu that he did for this movie. I forget how young he was and how dedicated he was. Probably thanks to coaching from his dad, Will Smith, that he dedicated his role here to like learning martial arts for real. Like, it shows to you, like, goddamn, that is some dedication, kid. It's like by the end of the movie, you're like, I wish I was that fit as a kid. Jesus.
Yeah, like like you would think that they would kind of like fake some hits, but nah. For sure, Jackie Chan had a hand in like the choreography here, because it did seem like these kids were hitting each other.
Right.
It's like, whoa, like they would do moves that I would have never thought of in a street fight, where like one kid grabbed both of like another kid's hands and just dive kicked into his chest. I'm like, how's that kid not, collapsed the,
right?
A rib is puncturing his heart. Is he okay?
The first fight Dre gets into, I was like, how is Jaden Smith still walking in real life? We'll never understand.
Dude, like, you know how we would see American movies when they would show like, the loser getting beaten up by the bully, and you're like, you see them getting wailed on. I'm like, yeah, but you don't feel like the arms really connecting, but they sell it.
Yeah.
Here, I'm like, whoa.
Right.
Am I gonna witness a full-on abuse here?
Yeah. Fucking full-on, like, unmitigated assault. But yeah, going into the plot, like, Dre and his mom moved to China for better opportunities because things are crazy in the US apparently. And like Dre, like the best sports movies or martial arts movies, the martial arts is not the main point. Here's Dre trying to find his place in an area that he clearly doesn't understand. There's a cultural divide. But he does try to make friends and ultimately ends up meeting one of his classmates who's like a violin prodigy. And like tries
the love interest.
Yeah, he tries to like get to know her, but like the main antagonist is like in his way, and like the usual Karate Kid formula ensues. I'm like, I wonder if they just call this Karate Kid just to get people into the cinemas. Honestly, the more I think about
Well,
it,
maybe it might have been. So
Yeah.
it might have been an executive decision.
you're like, we have to call it Karate Kid. You're like, why? It has nothing to do with karate whatsoever.
But in my opinion, it kind of, went in our favor
Yeah,
because now we're getting a movie with a kid who knows karate and kung fu,
that's pretty
and
sick.
would probably decimate the whole of Cobra Kai.
Probably. But yeah, like, Dre is desperate to like stand up for himself and learn the ways of kung fu because he knows the bully as like it's part of like an elite club of kung fu practicers with their own version of kung fu crease. You're like, shit, he's about as scary as the original crease, you know?
Yeah, he's hitting a kid.
Right? You're like, Jesus
I was like,
Christ.
whoa! Can he do that?
Yeah. Dre, like, he is definitely struggling to understand the ways of this new place he's in, like anyone would. Like, culturally, he's just like, I don't understand this place. Why do the people here do the things they do? Even though he's in a school for, like, international people, he still has to get used to, like, the culture divide. And, like, he definitely struggles with that when he's, like, trying to make moves on this girl, where he's like, I don't understand why you're so dedicated to practicing to the point where it's almost toxic. Like in other countries you would be like, you can calm down, take your time. But like, if you, I don't know if you've seen videos in China where kids like literally like die of exhaustion trying to perfect their craft, whether it's by instruments or like kung fu. You're like, I wish I had that dedication, but that's not for me, you know?
Yeah. Neither. I'm good.
Yeah.
I like to take my time with the things I like.
Yeah. Eventually Dre does meet Mr. Han because he is like their plumber and like their handyman, and he does save them, Dre, from the bullies who are beating the shit out of Dre. Again, that whole scene when he's trapped, has nowhere to go, and all of them beat the shit out of him. I was like, again, I'm like, how does Jaden Smith stand after this? I believe he's in danger.
Yeah, and I do like it that like when Jackie Chan does come in, he's mostly doing like defensive moves.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh okay. Like I could really see like the whole Miyagi-Do kind of philosophy here, where it's mostly defense rather than offense.
Yeah.
And like, but my God, I do have to admit that yes. I know it's like maybe 30 or 20 plus years after like the first Karate Kid, but like the choreography here, it's just peak. In my opinion, better than most like adult movies.
Yeah, definitely. I saw him training here. I saw the fights he gets into. I was like, this has better choreography than the most recent action movies nowadays. Like, definitely better than like, what's the recent action movie? The Gray Man, where I'm like, this could be better. Watching it
could have
here,
been better,
yeah.
right?
Watching it here, the
Yeah.
choreography, I was like, god damn, they definitely took time and effort to make this work, which is amazing to see.
Yeah. And do you also get like, sorry, yes?
No, you go ahead. I was about to say behind the scene facts, but yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, but we also do get like, yes, the regular trope from Karate Kid where we have wax on, wax off, but instead of wax on, wax off, you get, take off your jacket.
Yeah.
And again, I love it that they incorporated that because it is somewhat of a practice.
Yeah.
You just repeating a move for days upon days, and then you just kind of incorporate it into martial arts. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I know in Jackie Chan, I'm sure he found a way to make it work. You're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is all Jackie Chan making this make sense. Culturally speaking, this, like, because of Jackie Chan, they were able to film in places like they couldn't if they didn't have Jackie Chan. Because Jackie Chan is so loved in China, they were like, sure, you can film in the Forbidden City where nobody has filmed since the 80s. Why not? Of course, you can film in the Great Wall, on top of the Great Wall, where there are no planes and helicopters allowed to fly over. So the entire camera crew had to carry that shit across the Great Wall and back because they're like, the Chinese government was like, no, you cannot fly over. we'll allow you to film it. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Again, this film is such an interesting cultural representation of where we were in 2010. It's kind of sad when you think about it. We're like, I thought nations were friends. Now we're not. You know? But I do love the fact that Dre does try to show his girl a good time, but that gets in the way of her practice because they rescheduled. And then after that, her family's like, cannot see him again. He's bad for you. Like, I feel like, I wonder if like the Western audiences got that, where they're like, but why? I thought they were friends.
Racism.
No.
Yeah, nah, it's because he will get in the way of her artsy fartsiness.
Yeah.
You know, like her practices.
But like, they resolve that pretty quickly, which I do kind of like, where he does say what he has to say to the girl's parents, where I'm like, it's cool, but at the same time it feels like a stereotype where it's like, alright, this conflict's out of the way, let's move on to the training montage.
Yeah, it's just like, alright, let's, get on with it.
Yeah.
But God, I do love the montage. I do love the training montage and everything. You see him like sucking. Like he just sucks at what he's doing at the moment.
Yeah.
And you see him slightly build up in a most natural looking way, in my opinion. Like he can't get the kick down all that well, but you just see him go like practice it all throughout until the last part of the montage where he actually gets it right.
Yeah, like Mr. Han doesn't take it easy on Dre too. Like he makes him crawl through the trenches. You're just like, but he's 10. Take it easy on him, Mr. Han. Jesus. Oh, sorry, 12. But yeah, like I also do love the backstory of Mr. Han, why he still keeps the car in his house. Yeah, in his living room.
Yeah.
And then like he tries to build it, and like he thinks it's gonna fix the past of him accidentally killing his wife and son, but it obviously doesn't fix the damage. It's done. There's a nice scene with him and Dre like training together after that. I'm like, that's touching. Like him, every time he trains Dre in either a faraway place or they're just training in the backyard, I'm in tune for the movie. I'm like, I forget why I didn't like this movie for so long, but now watching it again, I'm like, I have made mistakes, and not liking this movie is one of them.
We might have been a little too rough on you.
Yeah, that's that Thanos meme of like, I'm sorry, little one, I was too rough. The ending tournament is pretty sick too. Like, aside from the original Karate Kid, this one's pretty sick as well. Like, you even get like fucking Kung Fu Hawk. I'm like, oh shit, yes, a Mohawk.
He's just like, I'm like, ah. I was like, oh my god, it's him. But yeah, he kind of gets KO'd pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Not quickly. He put up a good fight. But God, you're watching this, and you see like the Cobra Kai version of the Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Just absolutely destroy another team. You see a kid just like with dreams and just gets flatlined on like the on the canvas. He's just like,
he was in his own Karate Kid movie and they got knocked the fuck out. You're like, well, not everybody can be a Karate Kid, you know? Or sorry, Kung Fu Kid.
1 year of training and just like.
Exactly. But yeah, they're fucking ruthless. Like the guy who has to incapacitate Dre by like elbowing his leg before it cracks. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why?
Yeah.
Jackie Chan does the whole candle shit to make give Dre enough strength to do the whole crane kick, which is, watching it again, I was like, that's a little bit more sick than LaRusso's kick, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure it was another rendition of the crane kick, but I guess this one is like more of the snake
Yeah.
kick. Because, yeah, that's the whole, like, thing behind it is that, oh, it's the snake mimicking movements of, like,
You.
the person with chi.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm out of my ass here. But yeah, he uses chi to manipulate that Kung Fu kid. He's just like, oh, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then he gets the shit being like kicked out of him. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he gets the respect of like the entire city of China.
Yeah, he gets the respect of Kung Fu Cobra Kai, leaves Kung Fu Kreese in the dust. You're like, all right, I guess this ends well enough.
Yeah, there was a deleted scene though, and I think it might have been a bit appropriate that they left it out
Really?
because it's already beat for beat Karate Kid.
Ah.
Like, I mean, yeah, like if they kept the scene in, it would have been a little bit weird.
All right.
Because it was a scene where, oh yeah, of course, Kung Fu Cobra Kai lost, and Kung Fu Kreese is just like, "Arr!" you know, about to smack a child, and then Mr. Han like comes in.
Oh,
he
shit.
Has a little scuffle with
Kung Fu
Kung Fu
Kreese.
Kreese,
Yeah.
and and like yeah, and he gets the respect from all of like Cobra Kai Kung Fu kids, you know.
Yeah. On this being released in 2010, it ends the only way it knows how to end. It gets sent off with Justin Bieber. You're like, all right, I forgot how hard the snaps too. I like the song too.
Mm.
Yeah, you're about to say something? Oh.
You froze.
I thought you were about to go on Justin Bieber tired. I was like, all right,
No,
you
no.
do you.
Cause I was just like, because I do remember around this time, everybody was hating on Justin Bieber, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like, not bad though.
Exactly.
Come on. Yeah.
I mean, Jaden Smith does grow up to be a pretty cool rapper too in his own right. We're like, oh shit. But yeah, I feel like out of all the Kung Fu kids, Karate Kids, this is the most underrated of all of them because it used to be so critically and commercially panned. They're like, it sucks, but you watch this movie now, you're like, actually, it's pretty good.
Not bad. Right?
Yeah,
Not just me, right?
yeah. Like, unless the two of us are just the crazy ones, I'm sure there are people who like this movie too or love
Yeah.
this movie.
If somebody goes on and is like, oh, the writing seems a little too childish, yeah, we're not the target demographic.
Right?
It's supposed to target kids.
Yeah.
Ages 12 up, you know?
Exactly.
Uh,
It's so a well-rounded story too. Where I'm like, you know what? I appreciate it. This movie for being what it is.
yeah, pacing's not that bad either. I
Yeah,
was like, oh, okay, we're already at the tournament. And it doesn't feel like it's rushed.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, underrated, but it's a very good movie in my opinion. Like I had such a nostalgia blast watching this movie. Like after this, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna revisit tracks of the 2010s. Why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, what would you rate the Karate Kid 2010 version?
Okay. Karate Kid 2010, a solid 8 out of 10.
All right.
You know, I fairly enjoy it. My own opinion, by the way. Like the choreography was just on point. It's crazy how good this choreography is for a kids movie.
Yeah.
You know, Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith, they did a good job. You can tell that Jaden Smith is like, yeah, he's a kid. He's still trying to like get a grasp of his acting chops, and like, even the extras here were pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, for sure the kids who were who were part of Kung Fu Cobra Kai, for sure did real martial arts,
Yeah.
and it shows. Like, dude, I want to do like a diving elbow, so like, you know, and that shit was sick.
Yeah. I was like, what version of WWE Kung Fu WWE do you take, man? Because that was pretty cool to look at.
Not gonna lie, if China does like a WWE but Kung Fu, like I would fucking watch it.
Me too.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a solid 8 out of 10. The pacing's great. The ending is like nicely like it's done with like a nice bow. It didn't overstay its welcome. You
Yeah.
know? It was there and then it was done. And I'm like, yeah, you know?
Yeah. I would give this an 8 out of 10 as well. I do like the characters. They're very well developed. Dre, Mr. Han, Dre's girl, and like even the mom trying to figure her way out here as well. She's like, I'm in a new place. I'm trying to adult. Don't know what to do. Don't know how to speak the language. I'm out of my depth, like my kid. Holy shit. But yeah, I do like this nostalgia trip. The choreography is pretty sick watching it now. And the soundtrack is pretty cool. Like, if you're not sick of like 2010 songs, like this is for you. You're like, all right, Justin Bieber and John Mayer in the soundtrack. Why not?
Yeah, and also I didn't know there was a Chinese version of Clint Eastwood by Gorillaz.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I dig this. But yeah, Again, underrated, but I don't understand why. Maybe it was because it was all the hate for Justin Bieber, or why they didn't call this Kung Fu Kid, or any other reason, but or the fact that we were getting sick of what do you call this, reboots and remakes at this point. We're like, another one, why? And then you watch this one,
Yeah.
you're like, you know what, you deserve to stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully the sequel to this, even though I don't know what Karate Kid's Legend is in the timeline. I'm sure it's a sequel to this one. Hopefully that sequel is as good as this one, and if not better. But yeah, that's been our video for the Karate Kid 2010 edition. Who I don't know how to ask. For the soundtrack, what is your favorite artist in this one? To the audience watching.
Oh, for me, Chinese gorillas.
For me, it's the beginning because I was like, all right, John Mayer was pretty big back then, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like what you see here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see your best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. And the video Zoda's posts us on TikTok and Answolf on Letterboxd. Where can you find you?
Oh, you can find me at JohnJoM_on Instagram. It is my account.
And until the next time, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.